All right, welcome. Today, we're diving into a case with two of the most unlikely detectives you'll ever meet, Motu and Patlu. Now, their whole investigation kicks off with something super simple, a message in a bottle. But trust me, this is going to lead them to uncover a secret that's literally been buried for centuries.
Yeah, that's the big question, right? How can one single bottle hold two different mysteries? Well, the answer is actually what makes this whole thing so cool. See, this bottle, it's not just holding a note, it's holding the key to two completely separate cases, pitting our heroes against two very different bad guys. So get ready for a story packed with clues, traps, and of course, a few perfectly timed snacks. So let's set the scene. Our story kicks off like so many great adventures do on a pretty quiet day. Motu and Patlu are just hanging out on the river, trying to catch some fish, minding their own business. And then they spot something. Something a little weird. It's a glass bottle just bobbing along in the current, and you can see a piece of paper tucked right inside.
So what's inside? A classic SOS, a desperate plea for help. Patlu, being the brains of the operation, he immediately knows what it is. Save our souls. Someone is in some serious trouble. But Motu, Motu. In a classic Motu moment, he totally misreads it and thinks it's about someone's mother-in-law being in trouble. But, once Patlu clears that up, it's game on. The mission has officially started.
Okay, so there is absolutely no time to waste. They've got the message, they fire up their boat, and they are just racing upriver. They are determined, right? They've got to trace this bottle back to wherever it came from and find out who sent that desperate call for help. Right, so that message in the bottle, that was just clue number one. Now, the real detective work can begin.
Okay, so check this out. First, they find a bottle cap on the riverbank, and it's a perfect match for the one from their message. I mean, what a lead, right? Then, Patslu, he spots this patch of leaves that just looks off, like someone put them there on purpose to hide something. Motu, being Motu, gets super impatient, rushes ahead, even though Patslu's like, wait. And yep, you guessed it, they fall right into a pitfall trap. After this totally wild escape, I'm talking spring-loaded shoes and a very, very angry beehive, they finally uncover the source of the SOS. And it is not what you'd expect. It's an illegal diamond mine run by this villain, a guy named Mr. Judas, who's forcing people to dig against their will. And yup, you better believe he's the one who set that trap.
So they're face to face with this pretty scary guy, Mr. Judas, and Motu drops his famous catchphrase. It's kind of funny because it's his biggest weakness, but it's also the key to his biggest strength. See, without food, his brain just completely checks out. It stops working.
So what do? Motu's brain is basically offline, and there's a major villain standing right in front of them. What's their secret weapon? Well, Patlu knows. There's only one thing that's going to work here.
Samosas! Of course it's samosas! With just one bite, Motu completely transforms. He gets this incredible super strength and just makes short work of Mr. Judas and all his goons. Just like that, the miners are free, and mystery number one from that bottle is officially closed.
But hold on, we're not done. Just as one case wraps up, another one lands right in their lap. This time, a man named Mr. Agarwal comes to them. He hires them for what sounds like a pretty straightforward land-grabbing case. He says this villain, Rocky D'Souza, has illegally taken over his ancestral home.
Okay, but here's the twist. When they go to confront this Rocky D'Souza guy, he pulls out his own set of official-looking papers. And his story? He says his family has owned that land since 1823. He flips it around and says their client is the liar. So suddenly, this simple case is anything but. You've got two totally opposite stories, and both of these guys are absolutely convinced they're telling the truth. So yeah, Motu and Patlu are caught right in the middle of this classic he said mess. To figure out who's actually telling the truth, Patlu knows there's only one thing to do. They have to go to the source. They have to check the official government records.
And this is where the mystery gets even deeper. Patlu actually manages to sneak into the archives, right? He pulls the official file, and it matches Rocky D'Souza's story. Perfectly! According to the government's own records, Mr. Agarwal has zero claim to that land. For a minute there, it really looks like their client might have been lying to them this whole time.
But something just doesn't feel right, They trust their gut and decide to follow D'Souza. They trail his car all the way to the property, and then the car just seems to vanish. Poof. Gone. But when they look closer,
they see the trick. It's a hidden elevator leading down, down, down to this massive, secret excavation site deep underground.
And this right here is the turning point of the entire case. After they get captured, yeah, that happens, Patlow confronts D'Souza with the one tiny fatal flaw in his whole story. Those documents, the ones supposedly from 1823, they were signed with a ballpoint pen. And here's the problem. Ballpoint pens weren't even invented back then. Boom. The whole thing was a forgery.
So that mistake has a name. It's called an anachronism. That's just a fancy word for something that's totally out of its proper time period. And this is where things get really cool, because we're moving from just a story into the real art of being a detective. For someone like Patlow, spotting an anachronism like that, that's the smoking gun. It's that one critical detail that can unravel an entire lie, not just in stories, but in real-life investigations too.
Okay, so the forgery is exposed. The gig is up. And that's when D'Souza finally reveals his true plan. And let me tell you, this was never just about a piece of land. Oh no, it was about something way, way bigger. It turns out D'Souza isn't just some common land grabber. He's a rogue archaeologist. He confesses that he discovered something absolutely incredible hidden deep, deep beneath Mr. Agarwal's property, and he came up with this whole elaborate scheme just to claim it all for himself. And his plan, wow, it was meticulous. He knew that this specific piece of land was sitting right on top of a lost civilization. So while Mr. Agarwal was out of the country, D'Souza had the real ownership papers stolen. Then he created his forgeries. Then he even managed to swap out the files in the government records office. He did all of this just so he could secretly dig up these priceless artifacts and sell them on the black market. And we have to talk about the value of what he was stealing, because it's just staggering. I mean, we're not just talking about a few million on the black market. We're talking about unique, totally irreplaceable artifacts from a lost civilization. The historical value, you can't even put a number on it. It's truly incalculable. So this isn't just theft, right? It's literally erasing a piece of history. So in the end, our heroes did more than just get the land back for its rightful owner. They stopped a criminal from selling off priceless history. And in doing that, they actually uncovered a lost civilization. And to think, this whole thing, it all started with just one single message in a bottle. It really makes you think, doesn't it? This whole case, from the diamond mine all the way to a lost city, it just goes to show you that incredible secrets can be hidden right under our noses, just waiting for someone with a sharp eye to spot that one little detail that's out of place. It kind of leaves you wondering, what other secrets could be hidden just beneath our feet? What might we find if we all just looked a little closer? Thanks for joining me on this one.